All right, so we have visualized, what it is that we want to achieve. We set our goals, we've written them down, we have taken the steps, but life happens. We fall off the wagon. Something happens to derail those plans. How do we get up and refocus? What do we need to do?
Start all over again. Start all over again. Failure is a part of the learning process. Analyze why, what happened, how could it have been avoided? Mm-hmm. What can I do next time? In other words, it's not the end of the world. You can read several stories. Go look and Google things about people who have made it to the top and how many times they fall down. Get something that will help to remotivate you to try again. It is not the person who never fails who enjoys success. It's the person who has failed, get up, start again, and reach the top. Mm-hmm. And you can better share with somebody else. So never, never, never give up. It's never the end of the world.
They say a righteous man will fall 7 times, but he
rises every time. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Failing is in staying down.
This failing is in
not in falling, but in not wanting to get back up.
I think too, we need to do an assessment, as we spoke about assessment earlier. What is it that causes us not to follow through with this plan? And we can also do an assessment as well to see how important is this plan or this goal to us, right? And when we do that assessment now, we must determine something that will propel our actions to want to get up, want to fight, want to motivate us to see it through. And if it is, so we need to identify the shortcomings that affected us failing before, and we build on that. Once we identify where we went wrong, we build on that and we try to do better next time.
I'm happy you said that, Hope, because one of the things that you could include in your plan is an attitude change. And you could decide what it is that you need to do to change your attitude. I don't listen well. I don't talk to other persons. What is it? Do I have a time management properly? These are things. So you have a time management. Do a little plan to help you with that. You have attitude. You don't like to listen. Nobody must tell you anything. You want to do your own thing. But you recognize that that's not going to help you. So what is it that you need to do to change that attitude? You're an island to yourself. You don't talk to anybody. You don't share ideas. All of this kind of thing. You look at all of these. That's why that self-assessment before you start putting down your plan is very key. Bare your soul to yourself and look at what is there that needs to be addressed to help you to make that success possible.
So cut yourself some slack, because sometimes we're harder on ourselves than we are really on others. So we are allowed to make mistakes, and we're allowed to forgive ourselves as well and get up and move on, So this failure doesn't determine who we are or what we can be. The most important thing that we identify that, yes, I failed, I erred here, but what can I do to pick myself up and move on?
I think we've had a very fruitful discussion on this whole issue of goal setting. Remember, goals are not cast in stones. They can be revisited. It is important for us to write them down. I think it's also important to share those goals with somebody else who can also help to keep us accountable, to follow up with us to see whether or not we are on target to achieve them. Are there any final thoughts, any final comments that you'd want to leave with those who are watching this podcast to help them to be more successful, be more strategic in setting goals to be a success?
I have found that there is a whole world of information that's out there that can help to give ideas and can help you in coming to some meaningful probably observations and evaluations of yourself and suggestions as to what you need to do. There are people who have specialities that serve as mentors. There's so much more out there. YouTube, Google, personnel within your institution, within your family. It's there. It's just for grasping it, talking with somebody, and listening to a lot of stuff. In the multitude of counsel, there is wisdom. The Bible says so. And if you, listen, I have always taken it as my own. You can learn from anybody or any situation. It is either you learn what you can do or what you should not do. So there's always a learning experience. So grasp it. Just listen, learn, discard what is not relevant to you, but learn. And even when it may not be relevant to you, you could use it to help somebody else. So there's so much out there. Begin early. Start with your little plans from you have the sense, as we would say in Jamaica, to know that you would put something together. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to become. You are able to change it. You can change your mind, but begin from early. And I would say, parents, help your children. Listen to them. Don't try to make them you. Listen to their plans, encourage them, and let them write their little plans and stuff like that. And I remember a parent told me that her son, who is quite a man now and successful, she keeps a lot of the things that he would write when he was going to primary school and so on. And he wrote about this very thing, about what he wouldn't want to be. That same little gem that I told you about, he does not want to be a helmless vessel. And she wrote it in his little primary school writing, you know? And I have known of persons who write from primary school days, I'd like to be a nurse, I'd like to be, something. And life, they have gotten to their goal. So sometimes you never can tell. Just encourage, take advantage of what's out there, and help to chart your journey along the right roads to success. The journey never ends, so you can still start over and do well.
Okay, I would like to say to our viewers, the time to start planning is right now. It doesn't matter how young or old you are, time waits for no man. And as I said, time waits for no man. I was having a discussion with my son, and I was saying to him, I have my full life ahead of me. He said, no, mommy, you have half. You live half your life already, so you really just have half. So the time to start really getting those plans in is right now. And as we talk about the plans, as we make the plans, ensure that we implement the acronym SMART to ensure that we are on the right track with setting our goals. And not only to think of them, but if we didn't write them down, it means that we don't have an effective plan. Because when we write things down, we are navigating our journey to success and to ensure that we achieve this goal. So start planning right now.
All right. Thank you so very much, ladies. After we have achieved the plans, have achieved the goals, do a little bit of celebrating, right? So we feel good about what it is that we have accomplished.
Yes, it's okay to do that.
Yes.
And for those who didn't achieve, stop beating up yourself. You did the best you can.
Yeah.
Maybe as you look back, you could have done things better, but still celebrate your successes now. Yes.
That's right.
There's a famous, before we go, there's a saying that we should celebrate our micro wins till we get to the macro wins. Because sometimes we set the goals and, things fall out of line, but we still achieve a little thing that will propel us to move forward. It's okay to celebrate a little and move on.
It provides encouragement. All right. So thank you very much for joining us in another of our podcasts. Stay tuned when we come to you with more information to uplift, to empower, to enlighten on this, your journey to becoming